on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with red, white, and green trim, hailing from Torreon, Coahuila, Mexico. His weight 139.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 31 wins, no losses, 1 draw, and 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the WBC number 5 super lightweight in the world. And tonight, making his U.S. debut, here is the undefeated WBC silver super lightweight champion, introducing Roberto Ortiz. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, hailing from Trelew, Chubut, Argentina. He weighed in at already 139 pounds. His hard-hitting record stands at 35 wins, 3 losses, 1 no decision with 33 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF, number 2 by the WBC, and number 1 by the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the hard-hitting knockout artist known as the Machine, introducing Lucas Martin, La Máquina Matthysse. Once again, our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Benji Esteves.
Give me a second, Jimmy. Lucas, Roberto, ya recibieron mis instrucciones anteriormente. Voy a repetir, quiero una pelea limpia. Obedezcan mis instrucciones durante la pelea todo el tiempo y mucho más importante, protéjense durante la pelea todo el tiempo. Buena suerte, desencuentro.
Cincinnati was the first city in the U.S. to have a full-time paid fire department in 1853, and the action in this clash promises to be hotter than fire. I almost feel like it should come with one of those warnings. The following may not be for the faint of heart. Viewer discretion advised. Of their combined 66 victories, 57 have come by way of knockout or TKO. We are scheduled for 12 rounds. It's Lucas Matthysse in the black with white, Roberto Ortiz in the black with red, white, and green.
And in this fight, very much the size of this ring, a smaller ring, could well come into play. And our colleague Steve Farhad often helps us by coming up with great factoids, and he came up with this one. In the last 20 fights involving, this may surprise you, involving an Argentine fighter against a fighter from Mexico, Argentina is 18-2. That's shocking.
It is. Matthysse Ortiz has 23 of his 24 knockouts within 5 rounds. We already mentioned earlier that 28 of Matthisse's 33 KOs have occurred inside 4 rounds. So this is not the time to take a bathroom break, my friends.
My old partner Sal Marciano used to say, don't go to the refrigerator.
And Matthysse attacking the body with the jab. Ortiz blocking that punch, going downstairs with a shot to the midsection.
You know, yesterday Ortiz told us he doesn't mind having actually a fight with Matthysse and not fighting a careful fight, even though despite Mathisse's power. So both guys very confident in their punching power. Ortiz not intimidated by Matthysse, and he's come out pretty aggressively, you know, with jabs and just, you know, feeling out punches, but at the same time not an intimidated stance at all. Plus, Al, the ring being so small, it's going to kind of force a firefighter at a certain point.
True.
Weren't surprised when we asked Matthysse about this fight. He said it's very simple. I need to go to war. This is a recording when it comes to Matthysse.
You know, Matthysse has often had slow starts in fights, though not against Lamont Peterson, we should point out. When he uses the jab, he's a different fighter, and they talked about that at the fighter meetings with us. He and Luis Barrera, his trainer, they said we must use the jab. It helps him land power punches and keeps him on balance.
Cuidado con las cabezas, los dos.
Under a minute remaining in a rather getting to know you round as they exchange punches there. Matthysse going to the body. Ortiz using lateral movement along the ropes. Double jab from Matthysse.
Ortiz has his herky-jerky kind of style, and it's kind of hard to find your distance on him. And a couple of times, Matthysse has come up just short with some of his punches.
Final 10 seconds. Is this the calm before the storm of strikes that we all anticipated? Ortiz and Matthysse headed to round number 2.
For Roberto Ortiz, he likes to use the uppercut. We didn't see him as much in the first round, but he can't throw it from far out. He will get countered by Matthysse. Don't lunge in. He hasn't done that in the first round. He's actually kept his distance very well. We haven't seen him throw the right hand. They told us at our fighting meetings the right hand was going to be a key weapon for him. As for Lucas Matthysse, the jab is vital for him. I mentioned that, but not a lazy jab, because if he does throw a lazy jab, that right hand from Ortiz will come over. And when the uppercut is thrown by Ortiz, if it is, the counter left hook could be a very important weapon for Matthysse.
Matthysse added Eduardo Morales. You see him in the corner, a former lightweight title contender against Shane Mosley. He was the man you saw holding the pads earlier tonight when we took a look inside Matthyse's dressing room, as round 2 is underway.
Also an advisor to them, Juan Koji, the excellent 140-pound titleist from Argentina for many years.
In preparing for the toughest test of his career, Ortiz employed a sports psychologist for 5 weeks to work on the uber-important mental aspect of fighting. Maybe shed some light on that, Paulie.
You know, any kind of advantage you can try to get, sometimes the psychological part of the fight is the most important. So if you need help with the psychology of it, maybe building confidence, maybe convincing you that, you know, you can do better or you can succeed, maybe when you're having those doubts. You know, each fighter is different, you know. Some fighters don't feel the need they need anything like that, and some fighters, every little bit helps. In the end, it's all up to the fighter.
Right uppercut followed by straight right in the inside as they exchange at close quarters.
Ortiz making that a firefight, not getting the best of it, even though he landed a couple of punches. The Matthysse power pushed him back.
But I like the poker face of Ortiz, not showing any intimidation, even if Matthysse had landed a couple of punches, not showing he's bothered, still trying to maintain the game plan. And this fight is still up in the air. Nobody has gotten a clean-cut advantage in it yet.
Matthysse tying up, and Ortiz with almost a whizzer on Matthyse's arm. 1.5 minutes remaining in the second. Ortiz bounced that punch off of Matthyse's left shoulder. They're still trying to find their rhythm, the range, and their targets in round number 2.
Most of this fight, though, Ortiz has been kind of on his back foot going backwards, or at least at distance, and he may be doing that by design. That wasn't what he said he was going to do.
There he misses with the right uppercut and tries to throw a right behind Matthyse's guard as Matthysse now goes to work on Ortiz.
And that was I mentioned no uppercuts from far out. He threw one a moment ago. That's a dangerous maneuver for Ortiz.
But again, Ortiz so herky-jerky, it's weird. It's hard to land a clean shot on him. He's got this weird rhythm, this weird even stance. You know, even Matthysse at close range, he's not able to land with the thudding power that he wants to.
But Matthysse really controlling this round by pushing it over.
Just as we said, a good body shot.
What? Wow. And you got to blame Ortiz there, you guys. He looks like he was waiting. He was getting up at 9. And what do you think, Paulie?
I mean, he was getting up at 9, but listen, you don't want to cut it close. A body shot is hard to recover from, man. A body shot, you need every second you can get to recover from that thing because you're about to go back into action with very little oxygen. Having said that, he got up. If it's close, let him continue and see what he does. You can always stop it a few seconds later if he doesn't react. He obviously wants to fight. We're in round 2, not 10. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Man, talk about anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's tough because, you know, it was so close, and Benji Esteves may be right that he didn't beat the count. I couldn't say. And if we have the, we can look at it in slow motion all we want, but he had to make the call as it happened. Meanwhile, this guy, Lucas Matthysse, showed us his power early in this fight.
Here's the thing. I mean, if he didn't want to fight, he wouldn't have got up. He was just trying to take every possible second to recover from that body shot. Because how many times do we see a good body shot land, the guy just stays down for the whole full count and doesn't get up? So Ortiz obviously wants to continue. He's just trying to take every possible second to re-oxygenate because that body shot clearly hurt him.
And just like that, Roberto Ortiz tastes defeat for the first time as he goes down for the 3rd time in his career, and this fight is over. Matthysse picking up his 29th knockout victory inside 4 rounds, his 34th overall.
We will take a look at this to make sure that where this punch lands, nobody suggested it was low. Oh, it was a very nice body shot. And Ortiz going down. Good for Lucas Matthysse for not trying to land another punch. The mouthpiece comes out.
And that gives Benji Esteves some room for error here because he's spinning out the mouthpiece.
Let's take a look at the count. He's up to 7, 8, 9. Well, to be honest, he beat the count.
He beat the count.
So here's the thing, though. Now, he's spinning out his mouthpiece. I didn't realize that at first.
Right. Now Benji Esteves has the right to stop this fight. Let's take a look at it again. Beautiful body shot.
Beautiful liver shot there by Matthysse.
The thing is, Ortiz goes down, and Benji Esteves will come in, make the count, and he does have the right to stop the fight. But the way he stopped it made it appear that he did it because he didn't beat the count. And if you're going to stop the fight after the guy has gotten up, you have the option to take a look at him. You don't stop it immediately. You look at him and you decide. Now let's take a look very carefully at this as we see Ortiz. Now he's not looking at Benji Esteves, but clearly that was 9 as far as I'm concerned.
Guys, we're missing the point here, though. He spit out his mouthpiece. What do? You take him back to the corner after he barely beats the count and let him oxygenate more? The problem is now he spit out his mouthpiece, so he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt for that half second.
Well,
because now if you put back his mouthpiece, he's going to get another 5 seconds.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at, there's the body shot, and that it hurt Ortiz. I get your point 100%. However, if in fact he beat the count, to be honest, mouthpiece out or not out, if you beat the count, you beat the count. The referee still has to decide whether he wants to let you continue. Now, there's the mouthpiece going out. I get that. Let's take it.
Cuatro, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, that was 9.5, wasn't it? Interesting. Well, my feeling, to be perfectly frank, Benji Esteves has a right to stop the fight, but if he was stopping it because he didn't beat the count, he probably made a mistake. But there wasn't also a lot of protests from Ortiz, and I get your point about the mouthpiece as well.
I think Benji penalized him the extra half a second because now by putting the mouthpiece back in, Ortiz now bought himself an extra 5, 6, 7 seconds to rest and oxygenate more.
I think that, well, let me say this. To be honest, I think that would be totally inappropriate if that's what he did. 100, it's not even in the rules to do that.
Corrales Castillo.
Well, no, it's not in the rules to do that.
Well, it's official, and let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 45 seconds in round number 2. Our referee in charge reaches 10. He is the winner by way of knockout, Lucas Martin, La Máquina Matthysse.